My life before Brooklyn? Man, it was a freaking circus. Always had women around, you know? Not trying to sound like a jerk, but it was just too much. Like everywhere I went, I felt eyes on me. Bars, coffee shops, even just walking my dog. It wasn't flattering anymore. It was suffocating. I couldn't just exist. Every conversation felt like an audition. Every glance like an invitation I didn't send. My phone buzzed constantly, random DMs, numbers I didn't recognize. I swear, sometimes I felt like I was in a glass box, everyone just staring in. My own space? Forget about it. It was like I had none. So, I came up with a plan. A genius plan, I thought. I'd be gay. Not actually, obviously, but I'd just put it out there. Tell people, let them assume. It was the ultimate shield, right? No more unwanted advances, no more women trying to fix me or win me over, just peace, just a normal, quiet life. That's all I wanted. A place where I could just be Ethan, without all the baggage that came with, well, being me. That's how I ended up in Brooklyn, signing a lease for a shared apartment. New city, new me. It was a fresh start, a blank page. I pictured myself just chillin', reading, listening to music, maybe hitting up a local diner. Simple stuff. The kind of stuff I couldn't do before without someone trying to slide into my DMs, or worse, my actual DMs. When I finally got the keys, dumped my bags in my new room, I actually let out a long breath. It felt good, like a weight had been lifted, a really heavy, persistent weight. I mean, after years of feeling hunted, feeling like I was constantly on display, this was supposed to be my escape, my safe zone. I really thought it was. My new roommate was Sarah. She was a lot. In a good way, mostly. Like a burst of sunshine mixed with glitter and a perpetual sugar rush. She was super into anime, manga, especially the boys' love stuff, BL. Her side of the apartment was practically a shrine. Posters of ridiculously handsome animated guys plastered on the walls. Shelves crammed with manga volumes, action figures striking dramatic poses. Every corner had some kind of plushie or fan art. It was bright, colorful, and just screaming fangirl. When I told her, casually, that I was gay, her eyes just lit up, like genuinely full-on sparkle mode. "Oh my God, Ethan, that's amazing! I knew it! You just have that vibe!" She hugged me, a super tight, bouncy hug. "We are gonna be besties! We can talk about hot guys, emotional depth, all the good stuff!" And she wasn't kidding. Our evenings usually involved us slumped on the couch, her with a massive bag of chips, me with whatever I could find in the fridge. She'd put on some anime, usually something intense with two guys agonizing over their feelings. She'd narrate the whole thing, explain the subtext, point out the shipping moments. "See, Ethan? The way he just looks at him, that's pure devotion, real love, Not like all that messy, superficial, straight stuff." I'd just nod, try to look thoughtful, maybe offer a, "Yeah, I totally get it," or "That's so deep, Sarah." Inside, I was just trying to keep up, pretending to be as invested as she was. It felt easy, though. She was so open, so unbothered by anything, totally immersed in her world of fictional romance. She'd tell me about her favorite pairings, how they found themselves, and accepted who they truly were. She even gave me advice, serious advice, on living your truth. I'd just smile, grateful for the free therapy session and the perfect cover. I remember thinking, this is it. This is what I needed. Sarah was the perfect roommate. Enthusiastic, yes, but harmless. Totally focused on her anime boys, not on me in any romantic way. She was my human shield, my personal bodyguard against the dreaded female gaze. My life finally felt settled, like the dust had cleared. No more dodging, no more excuses. Just easy, chill days and nights watching cartoons. This was the peace I signed up for. But then, little things started happening. tiny, almost invisible cracks in the otherwise smooth surface. One night, we were watching some cheesy rom-com, Sarah's idea, of course, for a palate cleanser after a particularly intense BL series. I was just munching on some stale popcorn, not really paying attention. She leaned over, offering me a pack of snacks. "Hey, Ethan, want some of these? I know you love those little peanut butter crackers." The ones with the orange cheese dust on them? Like, really love them, right? I froze, the cracker halfway to my mouth. Those peanut butter crackers. Man, I hadn't thought about those in ages. Like, since I was a kid. My grandma used to pack them in my lunchbox, and I'd hoard them. It was a weird, specific thing, a childhood thing, something I never, ever talked about. Not with old girlfriends, not with my family even, not really. It was just a private, nostalgic little detail. I looked at Sarah. She was smiling, munching on her own crackers, eyes glued to the screen, completely oblivious to the sudden chill that had just swept through me. My heart gave a little skip. Yeah, Sarah, how'd you know that?" I tried to sound casual. She shrugged, still not looking at me. "Oh, I don't know, just a hunch. You just seem like a peanut butter cracker kind of guy, I guess. Everyone loves them, right?" Everyone loves them, sure. But the specific kind, the orange cheese dust ones, and the way she said really love them, right? Like she knew. It was just a small thing, a silly thing. My mind immediately went into overdrive, trying to make sense of it. Maybe I mentioned it once, a long time ago, when I was half asleep? Or maybe she just guessed. She was pretty observant, I figured. A fan of detail, given all her anime analysis. Yeah, that had to be it. I just brushed it off. "Haha, yeah, you got me." I forced a laugh, but the cracker suddenly tasted like ash. And then there were her eyes. It was subtle, so subtle, I kept telling myself I was imagining things. Sometimes, when she thought I was engrossed in my phone, or looking out the window, or just distracted, her gaze would flick over to me, just for a split second. But it wasn't the usual friendly, bubbly Sarah look. It was something else, like she was studying me, analyzing. It wasn't a quick check to see if I was okay. It was deeper, more intense, like she was reading a book and I was the plot. One time, I caught it. I was pretending to scroll through my feed, but I caught her reflection in the dark screen of my phone. Her head was turned slightly, and her eyes were fixed on me, and they were sharp. Not angry, not even necessarily mean, just focused. And there was this little, almost imperceptible twist at the corner of her lips. Not a smile exactly, more like a gnawing curve. It vanished the instant I actually looked up, meeting her gaze head on. She blinked, her usual wide, innocent smile back in place. "Everything okay, Ethan? You look like you just saw a ghost," she giggled. Yeah, just lost in thought," I mumbled, my voice a little rougher than I intended. A shiver went down my spine, a cold prickle. I told myself it was just the AC. I told myself I was being stupid. I was getting weird ideas for no reason. This was Sarah, my Fujoshi roommate, obsessed with fictional boy-on-boy romance. She was as harmless as a bunny, right? It was just my old habits dying hard, the constant vigilance I used to have, now manifesting as silly suspicions. My brain was probably just looking for trouble where there was none. I mean, after all that trouble I went through to find some peace, to finally feel safe, I wasn't going to screw it up by imagining things, no way. But the feeling lingered, like a tiny, almost imperceptible spiderweb brushed against my skin in the dark. It made my stomach knot up. I tried to shake it off, but it clung to me. What the hell was that look? And those peanut butter crackers? It couldn't be a coincidence, could it? No, I was just overthinking. I had to be. This was my safe place now. This was my new peaceful life, right? The peace I thought I'd found? Yeah, that didn't last. Not really. It was like I'd just traded one kind of weight for another. Before, it was the constant chase, the unwanted attention. Now it was this damn mask, always on. Every word, every gesture, every casual comment about a hot guy on TV, it had to be calibrated, had to fit the narrative. And man, that was draining, like seriously exhausting. I felt like an actor in my own life, 24/7, with Sarah as my most dedicated audience. I used to just shrug off the little weird things she said, or those quick, sharp glances. Tried to tell myself it was just her fujoshi enthusiasm, her passion for the gays. But it was getting harder, much harder. My gut started twisting into knots more often than not. That feeling, like when you know something is off, but you can't put your finger on it? Yeah, that. It became my constant companion. One evening, Sarah was in full-on mentor mode. We were watching some new BL series, something about a shy baker and a charismatic gangster, intense as usual. Sarah was practically vibrating with excitement. "See, Ethan?" she said, nudging my arm, her eyes glued to the screen. "That's it right there. That little hesitation, that glance away. He's still fighting it, you know? Fighting who he really is. But it's there. The truth. It always comes out." She turned to me, her gaze suddenly serious, almost piercing. "You get that, right? Like you have to embrace it, live your truth. Don't hide who you are or who you love, even if it feels scary." I swallowed, the stale popcorn suddenly feeling like sawdust in my throat. Yeah, Sarah, totally. I get it." I tried to sound natural, like I was genuinely connecting with the baker's internal struggle, but inside, I was screaming, "My truth? You have no idea, Sarah." Her words, meant to be encouraging, felt like they were digging into something raw, something I was trying desperately to keep hidden. It felt like she was talking directly to my fake gay identity, urging it to become real. Then she got an even brighter idea. "Oh, you know what, Ethan? My friend Mark from the BL Buddies forum, he's super sweet, totally into manga, and he's been looking for someone chill to hang out with. I was thinking maybe you guys could grab coffee, see how it goes?" She beamed, completely innocent, or so it seemed. My heart literally skipped a beat. A real date with a real guy? This was exactly what I was trying to avoid. "Oh, Sarah, that's really thoughtful of you," I stammered, trying to find an excuse that wouldn't blow my cover. "But, you know, I'm kinda focusing on myself right now. Just getting settled, not really looking for anything serious or even casual, you know?" I gave a vague wave of my hand, trying to look detached. She frowned, her enthusiastic smile dimming the fraction. "Oh, really? I thought you were like ready to meet new people, live your truth and all that." Her eyes narrowed just a touch, just for a second. "Are you sure you're not just being shy?" No, not shy, just busy with work stuff and getting my life together here in Brooklyn." I forced a laugh that sounded more like a choke. The way she had asked it, "Are you sure you're not just being shy?" It felt less like a question and more like an accusation, like she knew I was lying or holding back. My skin crawled. The questions didn't stop there. Sarah's curiosity about my past started getting intense. "So, Ethan, you ever had a serious relationship? Before, you know, figuring things out?" she asked one afternoon while we were cleaning the kitchen. Her back was to me, scrubbing a pot, but her voice was casual, too casual. Yeah, a few," I said, trying to keep my answers vague. Nothing too wild. "Oh, come on!" She turned, a playful smirk on her face. "Spill the tea. Was there like a big love, a heartbreak? You know, the kind of drama that really shapes a person." She leaned against the counter, waiting. "Nah, not really," I lied, scrubbing harder at a stubborn stain on the counter. My ex, Chloe, she was a lot. And she knew things only she knew. Like the time my dad found out I skipped school to go to a concert and grounded me for a month. Or the stupid little nickname my grandma had for me, Peanut. Things I never, ever talked about. "What about Chloe?" Sarah asked, her voice still light, but the sound of that name made my stomach drop. "Wasn't she, like, really into you? I heard she even drove like 2 hours once just to bring you a specific brand of coffee when you were sick." I froze, the sponge slipping from my fingers and splashing into the dirty dishwater. My breath hitched. Chloe, and the coffee. How the hell did she know that? That was years ago. And only Chloe, my best friend, and maybe my mom knew that story. I never told Sarah a damn thing about Chloe, ever. "Chloe?" I managed, my voice raspy. How did you know about Chloe?" Sarah blinked, her eyes wide, almost too innocent. "Oh, did I say Chloe? My bad. I must have mixed you up with someone else. Happens all the time, right?" She giggled, a bright, bubbly sound that grated on my nerves. "Just, guessing." People always have exes, right? No, not just guessing. Not like that. That was too specific. My skin prickled. The little hairs on my arms stood up. It wasn't the AC. It was something else entirely. I felt like a bug under a magnifying glass. Like every corner of my past, every private moment was already an open book to her. And I hadn't given her the key. That night, sleep didn't come easy. My brain was buzzing, replaying Sarah's questions, her knowing glances. The damn peanut butter crackers, Chloe, the live your truth advice. It was all starting to pile up, too heavy to push aside. I kept tossing and turning, the apartment suddenly feeling small, cramped, like the walls were closing in. Around 2 a.m., I heard it, a faint, low murmur from Sarah's room. At first, I thought she was just talking on the phone or watching an anime without headphones, but it was too soft, too repetitive. I strained my ears, holding my breath. "Know you, always knew, destiny, always knew." My blood ran cold, my heart slammed against my ribs, a frantic drumbeat in the quiet apartment. No, no way. Those words, "know you, always knew, destiny." It was like a goddamn broken record. It was her, the woman from the bar. The memory, fuzzy and dismissed for years, suddenly snapped into terrifying focus. Her intense, almost hungry eyes. The way she had leaned in, invading my space. Her voice a low, chilling whisper. "I know you, Ethan Miller. I've always known. Our paths are meant to cross. It's destiny, you see." I had laughed it off, called her crazy, a drunk fan, pushed it out of my mind. Just another consequence of being too handsome, I told myself, a random encounter. But now, lying in the dark, listening to Sarah's soft, unsettling mumble, it wasn't random anymore. The pieces clicked into place, not like a puzzle, but like a trap snapping shut. Holy shit, no. My hands started to shake. I pinched myself, hard. "Wake up, Ethan. This is a nightmare. This can't be real." But the cold sweat on my forehead was real. The fear coiling in my stomach was real. The next afternoon, Sarah announced she was going out for a few hours, something about a manga convention. "Don't wait up for me, Ethan. I might be late. Gotta catch all the good cosplay," she chirped, grabbing her oversized Fujoshi tote bag. The moment the door clicked shut, leaving me alone in the apartment, a new, desperate kind of resolve settled over me. I couldn't just sit there, stewing in this paranoia. I needed answers, or at least some kind of proof to tell myself I was just being stupid. My eyes landed on her tablet, sitting innocently on the coffee table. She usually kept it pretty locked down, but today, maybe in her rush, she left it unlocked. A tiny electric jolt went through me. This was it, my chance. My hands were shaking as I picked it up. My fingers hovered over the screen, my mind screaming at me to stop, to respect her privacy. But a louder voice, cold and insistent, reminded me of the peanut butter crackers, of Chloe, of that chilling mumble in the night. Fuck privacy. My sanity is on the line here. I swiped through a few apps, my heart pounding like a drum solo. Her BL forums, some anime streaming sites. Then I saw it, a folder, almost hidden, labeled Research. My breath hitched. I tapped it. Inside, it wasn't research about fictional pairings. It was a grid of images, dozens, hundreds, of me. My blood turned to ice. There I was, years ago, at a coffee shop, hunched over my laptop. There I was, walking my dog in the park. There I was, laughing with friends at an outdoor cafe. And then, there it was, a grainy, slightly blurry shot of me at that bar, the one where the woman had approached me. I scrolled, my fingers numb. The dates on the photos stretched back, years, like 5, 6 years. And in some of them, in the background, in a blurry corner, almost obscured by a pillar or a potted plant, there she was, Sarah. Her hair was different, longer maybe, but it was her face, unmistakable. And in a few truly horrifying ones, her head was turned just slightly, and her eyes were fixed on me. That same sharp, analytical gaze, that knowing twist at the corner of her lips. Not innocent, not accidental, never accidental. The tablet slipped from my trembling fingers, clattering softly onto the couch cushion. A coldness, deeper than any AC, spread through my entire body, starting from my spine and gripping my lungs. The apartment, once my safe haven, now felt like a cage. Every cheerful anime poster on the walls seemed to sneer at me. Every bright-colored manga volume seemed to hide a dark secret. It wasn't a random fan. It wasn't a coincidence. It was a plan. A meticulous, years-long plan. And I, in my desperate search for peace, had walked right into it. I had let her in. I had lived with her. I had told her things, even if they were fake. And she had been watching, all along. My safe zone, my escape. It was never real. It was a trap. And I was already inside. Oh God, what the hell have I done? My mind raced, trying to grasp the full implications. If she had been planning this for years, if she had been watching me for that long, then what else did she know? What else had she done? And what the hell was going to happen now? The bubbly, innocent Sarah, my Fujoshi roommate, was gone, replaced by a predator, and I was the prey. My heart hammered against my ribs, a terrified bird trapped in a shrinking cage. I wanted to run, but where? She already knew everything, everywhere. I was stuck, completely, utterly stuck. Man, that whole thing with Sarah's tablet, it broke me. Seriously. It was like someone had just ripped a hole in my whole damn world, right there in the living room. Everything I thought I knew, everything I'd built up to keep myself safe, it all came crashing down, hard. I couldn't sleep, not really. Every shadow looked like it was moving. Every creak of the old building sounded like footsteps. My own footsteps. Hers. I was jumping at everything, man, like a cat on a hot tin roof. The apartment, the one place I thought I was finally safe, it felt like a damn coffin. A really bright, cheerful coffin, full of anime posters and fluffy pillows. That just made it worse. Sarah. She was still Sarah, on the surface. She'd hum while making breakfast, ask me about my day, recommend some new BL drama, and every single time I just had to grit my teeth, force a smile, and play along. But inside, I was screaming. My stomach was in knots, like permanently. Every word she said, I'd replay it in my head, searching for the hidden meaning, the trapdoor. Was she testing me? Did she know I knew? My brain was just fried. I couldn't think straight. All I knew was I was trapped. And this bubbly, harmless roommate, she wasn't harmless at all. She was a goddamn predator. And I was her prey. What the hell was I supposed to do? Run? Where to? She knew everything. My old life, my new life, my fake life, my real fears. The anger was eating at me too, you know? Like, how could I be so stupid, so blind? I, Ethan Miller, the guy who could spot a fake smile from a mile away, who prided himself on being street smart, I walked right into this, like a goddamn sheep. And for what? A little peace? Yeah, some peace. This was a nightmare, a living, breathing nightmare. Days turned into a week, then another. It was a torture. Every morning, I'd wake up, the fear kicking in even before my eyes were fully open. I'd go through the motions, nodding along to Sarah's excited chatter, forcing myself to look interested in her new manga haul. But my eyes, they were always scanning, looking for an exit, a way out. But there wasn't one, not one I could see. Then, one Friday, Sarah announced her grandma was coming to visit. "Oh, Ethan, Grandma Lily is the sweetest. She's coming for dinner tonight. You absolutely have to meet her." She clapped her hands, grinning. She always brings her famous apple pie, too. My first thought was, oh great, another performance. But then, a tiny flicker of something else. Hope? Maybe a grandma, a sweet old lady, wouldn't be part of this twisted game. Maybe she'd be normal, a safe person, someone I could talk to, even indirectly. Maybe I could subtly hint at my situation, make her see something was wrong. Yeah, right, who was I kidding? But the thought, however fleeting, was there. I grasped onto it, desperate for anything that wasn't Sarah's calculating gaze. That evening, the apartment felt heavy, like the air itself was thick with unspoken things. Sarah was bustling around, setting the table, humming. I tried to help, but my hands were clumsy. I felt like I was moving through mud. When the doorbell rang, Sarah practically leaped to open it. And there she was, Grandma Lily. She looked exactly like you'd imagine a sweet old grandma would look. Silver hair tied in a neat bun, kind eyes behind wire-rimmed glasses, a soft, warm smile. And she carried a pie, just as Sarah had promised. A delicious, sugary smell filled the air, briefly chasing away the cold fear that had become my constant companion. "Grandma, this is Ethan, my amazing roommate," Sarah beamed, pulling me forward. "He's just the best." Grandma Lily's eyes twinkled as she looked at me. "Oh, it's so lovely to finally meet you, dear. Sarah talks about you all the time." She reached out and gently patted my arm. Her touch was warm, comforting. For a second, just a split second, I felt a tiny bit of relief. Like maybe, just maybe, this woman was truly innocent. We sat down for dinner. Roast chicken, mashed potatoes, and that incredible apple pie. Sarah chattered away, telling her grandma all about her day, about the new BL series we were watching, about her friends from the BL Buddies forum. I tried to contribute, to appear normal. I kept glancing at Grandma Lily, searching for something, anything. Then Sarah, bless her twisted heart, brought me into the spotlight. "And Grandma, you know Ethan, he's just so brave. He's been really embracing who he is, finding his truth." She shot me a look, full of what seemed like genuine encouragement. Or maybe a challenge. I swallowed, my throat suddenly dry. This was it, the moment to perform. I decided to lean into it, sell the story. If I was going to be trapped, I might as well play my part convincingly. Maybe make them think I was truly lost in my new identity, make them drop their guard. "Oh yes, Grandma Lily," I said, putting on my most earnest, slightly melancholic face. I even managed a small, wistful sigh. It's been quite a journey, you know, learning to live authentically. It's hard, sometimes, especially when you've had to hide who you really are for so long. I paused, looking down at my plate as if wrestling with deep inner turmoil. I've had many relationships in the past with women, but they never quite felt right. You know, like I was always wearing a mask. But now I'm finally accepting myself. It's scary, but also freeing. I even let a tiny, fake tear well up in my eye, quickly blinking it away. I was good. I was really good. This was my Oscar-winning performance. I risked a glance at Sarah. She was beaming, satisfied. Grandma Lily smiled, a sweet, gentle smile. She reached across the table and patted my hand again. Her skin was soft, wrinkled, warm. Her eyes, behind those glasses, were fixed on me, full of what I thought was understanding, maybe even sympathy. "Oh, honey," she said, her voice soft, calm, like she was talking about the weather. Just so casually. "You're not the first one Sarah's tried that trick with." My breath hitched. My heart, which had been beating a frantic rhythm, suddenly paused, stopped dead. "What? What do you mean, Grandma Lily?" I managed, my voice a whisper. My blood ran cold, spreading from my chest to my fingertips, numbing everything. She just kept smiling, that same sweet, unthreatening smile. "Oh, you know, this whole gay thing. She's been planning this for years, bless her heart. Ever since she saw you at that old bar, remember?" She looked at Sarah, who giggled, a bright, innocent sound that shredded my nerves. "She said you needed a push to truly accept yourself, you see. She's such a thoughtful girl, always looking out for people." The world tilted. Time stopped. My ears were ringing. The words echoed in my head over and over. Not the first one Sarah's tried that trick with. Planning this for years. That old bar, remember? Needed a push to truly accept yourself. It wasn't a random encounter. That night at the bar, the woman with the intense eyes, the chilling whisper about destiny. It wasn't a drunk fan. It was Sarah. All along. She had been watching me for years, planning this, everything. The apartment, my fake gay identity, the live your truth advice, the knowing glances, the questions about Chloe, the freaking peanut butter crackers, it all clicked. Not like a puzzle fitting together, but like a steel trap slamming shut, around my neck. I was frozen. My muscles wouldn't move. My eyes, they flickered to Sarah. She was sitting there, right next to me, humming a little tune. Her fingers were carefully arranging a stack of new BL manga volumes. Her face lit up with a small, happy smile. That smile, the one I used to find so cute, so bubbly. Now it was a mask, a thin, terrifying veil over something cold, calculating, and absolutely, fundamentally twisted. The apple pie, still warm, sat untouched on the table. The sweet smell now tasted like ashes in my mouth. The cheerful anime posters on the walls, they seemed to press in on me, suffocating me. This apartment, my supposed refuge, was a cage, and I was the bird, a scared, stupid bird who had flown right into the hands of the hunter. I was stuck, completely and utterly stuck, with her, this harmless girl who had been watching me, planning for me, for years. My mind screamed, but no sound came out. If it wasn't a random fan, if it was someone with such a meticulous, long-term plan, what situation was I truly in? What the hell was going to happen now? And how in God's name was I ever going to get out? My heart hammered, a terrified drum solo, trapped, alone, and staring into the abyss of my own horrifying reality.